All right, we are live. Well, I guess while people join, how's it going over there at your end of the woods?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I'm preparing for a little night hike investigation myself. One of the places, I want to give out my location, but
Yeah,
one of the places that, not yet anyway, that I've had a lot of rocks thrown at me. Me and John hiked out to this spot, went up onto this area where a bunch of the rocks are thrown, and you can see tamped down, heavily used, and we found something that probably bear crap. I don't know. It was big, so didn't look like any other kind. And then we set up a couple of trail cameras along this trail camera. No bait, just to see what is coming, just to see what's coming up there and see if it's whatever's throwing the rocks at me. And we're gonna do a couple other areas like that where we've had. There's been a few spots that are just like epic for rocks coming into me, throwing at me, and we're going to try to get up and get trail cameras like crazy all over to try and capture that. And I'm going to leave that out there for 3 or 4 days. I think I might pick it up on the 25th or 26th.
right.
But I'm going to get out there to check too, because so I honestly think I put the trail cameras up. I think nothing will be up in that area. So that's my personal opinion. But
What's up, Gonzato? Yeah, good old trail cams, man. Sparky says, "Hey, what's up, Ted?" And Gonzato says, "Hello."
Hello.
And Sparky, if you do want to come jump in and hang out, you're welcome to. You can jump back in on that link I sent you. Should still work. If not, welcome to hang out in the chat and watch. It's up to you. So we got Monday. Yeah, this was kind of like a today thing. I wanted to go over some stuff, and I'm glad you joined me. Some stuff we could talk about. Mostly about, the video I just dropped from Claim 2 again, the Poltergeist Among Us. And of course, I relate that poltergeist activity showing up again, that I call it. I mean, it's like it's cryptid activity, same kind of thing. Poltergeist activity in the woods, very similar with projecting objects, and we captured a pretty good example of it. And you on the video, here comes Sparky. Let me jump him in here. You can hear it. I wasn't able to see it. It was more towards your direction. You were pretty close to me. That rock hitting off the tree.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, they hit right next to me.
Yeah. And when I listened to it, I heard it a lot clearer than I did when I was standing there. Because I couldn't tell what it was.
You've had so much of it happen that you've started to tune some of that out.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm listening for that like crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I heard it, and I was still like talking about something else, kind of like, I heard that rock.
And I jumped out of my skin.
Did you hear that? I was talking about something else. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes some of those things I would just kind of push through and don't even like make a big deal about them when it's something that's pretty crazy if you think about.
I usually, my experience with that is give them the reaction that they're looking, because they're doing that. They want a reaction, like the entertainment. And if you don't, they end up usually stepping it up to another level. Yeah. Well, right.
They're like, oh, that rock didn't work. Let me try something bigger.
Yeah. Throw something bigger. Let me hit you with it. Scream at you or push a tree over by you. I think when you start to ignore things, it's gonna escalate it, because it's like maybe I need to do more to get your attention.
It's like counterproductive, It's kind of like if you're going out to film and you're going out with the intent, which is the big part, to communicate, to make yourself known, make your presence known, and then you're there, and then you just like all of a sudden act like you're ignoring everything. Then it's kind of like it starts working against you in a way. So yeah, I could see how that works.
I kind of look at it as in I'm out collecting evidence. and you know,
Yeah.
whatever we're able to collect, we're collect, and wherever the rabbit hole leads us is where
Hey,
it leads
Bob.
us. But the thing I think, and it's like why I pay attention to it and everything. First of all, I've seen me and John were just talking about this, and you know, I had when I Tinker's Hollow, and I had John with me. We had a rock thrown at us, and John picked up one and whipped one back, and then one came instantly flying right back at us. That was much lower and towards our heads. Still missed us, but they were giving us like a warning shot, like don't escalate, you know.
Yeah.
And instantly, I was like, "Ooh, probably not a good idea to have done that."
I've done it too. I mean, I
Yeah.
have, and there's times where I tried to start it by picking up a rock of my own, and I say it. I usually don't just randomly throw stuff because you know when we're all together, we're recording. There's nothing worse than surprising people you're with by doing something that they have no idea you just did it. So I'm always like, you know, hey, I'm going to throw this rock. I want to know if you could do the same thing, you know, and I'll throw the rock, hit a tree if I can, if my aim's still good, and then see what happens. But like if rock's been thrown at us at times, I wouldn't say instantaneously like fired back with the rock, but there's been the same kind of instances where later on as things progressed, I'm like, okay, well, hasn't been any more. Let me try. And I'll say, you know, announce I'm gonna do it again, throw a rock and hit a tree or something and be like, okay, let's see you do it again. And I haven't really seen anything like negative come my way from doing like that.
I have done that, but I always make sure I see where I'm hitting, you know.
Oh, I look where I'm throwing. I aim for
Yeah.
trees. Yeah, I make sure that I'm not trying to set some kind of record by throwing at the furthest tree I can. I try to hit something that's closer to me because I'm just trying to make the noise. I'm not trying to show off some kind of like, you know, aim skill.
And that's the thing with the rocks that have been thrown at me. The thing that has always surprised me is their spectacular aim. But one of the things I did when I was in northern Michigan,
hey Eric, what's going on?
I knew something was around and it wasn't interacting. I had my cousin with that has younger and much better arm, and I like the area that I was like pretty sure. I'm pretty sure something's in this direction. I had him whip the rock over that direction. Didn't respond right away, but just a little bit down the path as we walked in with our backs turned to us, here comes a rock flying in and hit by us. So usually when you throw the rock, you're usually going to get one thrown back at you. I have heard where you throw the rock at them and they throw feces back too. So it could majorly backfire.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I haven't experienced any of that
behavior. And it's like, okay, you throw rocks, I fling poo. So yeah, it's a primate thing.
Yeah.
So
So
that's kind of what I try to do. That is primate behavior thing.
What do you think? How's Claim 2 changing for you or evolving for you? What do you think about it? Like anything that seems consistent, seems new, seems different? Because you've been there enough times.
And I've been there, you know, like through the seasons and everything, and we've had these different things happen. You know, and I can't say when you say, well, this one's got to be the most unexplainable, or you know, because I can't even do that. I could maybe I could put a top 10 list together, but I'm not sure if I could rank which one's number one. Because I don't know whether October, me, you, and Jack, we caught the, for lack of better terms, baboon sounding things. You said, is that a walrus? That one is astounding. That one I have not. People who seem to have an answer for everything, you know, oh, that's this, and you're just exaggerating this or whatever, and nobody has an answer for this one.
Hey, Marianne.
And having the tree pushed down by me there was definitely startling.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I remember if you watch my video from that same night and my point of view, you can hear that. And I was pretty far from where you were, and you can hear that it sounded like it collapsed and just crushed down.
Yeah.
Very
And
similar to what happened over at the house on Owen Hill when I recorded that outside.
Yeah.
It sounded very similar to that.
And it was right next to me, and like I said, that was the closest I actually came to firing. I thought for sure I was going to be in a shootout. Uh, so, and trying to get back to you guys when you're like, we can't find you, you got to come towards us. I go back there and I started getting rocks, whizzed at me that had some velocity and some hatred behind them. Were zinging at me, and then I hear you guys on the other side coming towards me, and you're like, you're getting rocks thrown at you too. So it's like instantly. So it's like that one was a really good one. The I'm standing next to you, and I get an EVP of a woman's voice saying hello on there, and I'm standing right next to you, and it doesn't come on your device at all, or Jack, who was just right on the other side of you. It doesn't show up on anybody else's device but mine. And how a woman's voice got back there to begin with, I'm dumbfounded on that. And
the EVP.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it. Was it audible? I'm trying to remember. Did you actually hear it, or was it on the recording?
In real time, we didn't hear it. We heard it in review.
So probably an EVP.
But we had stuff going on there other stuff was happening that had us where we were paused, standing there, had our attention. But then this wintertime, me and Jack, we thought something took our glow sticks and was running through the woods, but something had imitated the blue light. They didn't actually take our glow sticks, but there was three.
It looked like it was moving.
And there was three of them, and you can see them moving clearly, just blue the lights. Same blue color as the glow sticks.
Yeah.
Which is not like a common color for a light in the woods. That one kind of blew my mind.
That'd be kind of devious if you think about that.
And right, and they only
taste the blue glow sticks. Like, oh, I'm gonna get them to come over here, and they let's make that blue light look like the ones that they put out, and just somehow running around.
We thought we were looking at our glow sticks, and then we turn and walk about 25 feet to our right, and there's our whole setup. There's our glow sticks, and they had only took one thing. They took an orange. And the really creepy thing about it was there's a spot on the path I fell that night going up the steep hill. Right at the spot where I fell, there was a broken tree, and they stuck the orange on that tree so that we couldn't miss it walking back. But they somehow knew the direction we were going to walk back, and they planted that there for us to see. Whatever did it, took the one orange and planted it on there, because Jack didn't even see it. And I'm the one spot. I'm like, hey, there's the orange that's missing, and that was really. And I'm like, this is right at the spot where I fell. So to me, that said, man, it was watching us. Something was watching us the whole time, and then said, Jack put those pheromones in. He injected it into the fruit. I think they didn't like that, but they were, I guess, literally acknowledging the gift that was set out too.
So they were showing it like, we don't like this when you do this to our orange.
Yeah, that's just what I'm wondering. But it's like they put it on the path right there, and they knew that was the spot I fell.
Yeah, like it returned the sender. Like, here, take this back.
Yeah, because it was funny, because then we go back into the woods 2 weeks later, and we go back there, and all of Jack's oranges. I think there was one other one missing from that, but all the rest of them were still sitting there 2 weeks later.
Speaking of the cameraman, I think he might try to join us. I sent him an invite. I think he was up to something, so possibly he might be jumping in and joining us. But claim 2, that was something that I did that night again, was that shack. I've been working in the shack there because there's been times where I've had some really intelligent kind of responses and things that seem to be like spirit activity, and some of the devices seem to show the combination of messaging and device interaction. So that there's part of me that I feel like this connection, these things can happen no matter where you're at, because I think there's like a connection when you reach out to make that connection, that you open that door and they'll find you. Spirits can find you and talk to you. And so that's why sometimes, from the start, why I kind of do this thing wherever, randomly in the woods, and I've been spending time in that shack and see if if there's some kind of data to collect with consistency of things there, and had some few moments there that night. Seemed like something would interact intelligently when I asked it to make the motion detector go off and things like that. So,
well, not only that, what I noticed when you were doing that, because I watch your videos too, I noticed that you were starting to get a little unnerved when you were in there from stuff that was happening outside, noises you were hearing outside of the shack.
The gravel sounded like somebody like took a step or two right at the gravel next to the front of the shack. Yeah, that freaked me out a little bit because it sounded like somebody kind of walked up and was just standing there real quick.
And at the time you were in there, I wandered off and I got lost.
Yeah, I heard you on the radio.
You see me on there, I'm lost.
We heard you on the radio.
So, because that's what you're like, shine your light up, or do a whoop, and I'm like, I'm coming across doing those things, and I can hear, I'm listening on your video. I'm like, oh, you can't hear me at all. Yeah. Like I was nowhere near.
It's like shoot up a flare or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah.
Yeah, the good old tree knocker has a lot of uses. I keep it with me for even moments like that when you're like, hey, somebody's trying to find me, like Jack or somebody or you will be like, hey, where you at? And I'll be like, well, I'm not sure, but here, listen, tell me if you can hear where I'm at. And then smack.
Yeah, I'd like to have had some sort of a flare gun to shoot up there.
Hopefully wouldn't burn the forest down with that.
That kind of overkill is definitely something I would do.
Yeah, I've got my laser too. That good laser for all these tools I found.
Those actually work really good if you're trying to find somebody. If you do the laser and you just do a circle above you so it hits all the trees.
Yeah.
Notification delay.
I
know. I hear you. So YouTube's weird with notifications. I don't know.
I
don't know how to help anybody with that.
My Marauder 2 flashlight, that 14,000 lumen, I put that up into the air into its flood zone, so it goes up higher, goes up as 800 meters, and it's bright as heck. And you guys couldn't see that, so like I just wasn't close to you. That's just, I guess, how lost I got.
Yeah, and in the forest, like over all the time, like it's been Jack. I think Jack and I, when I first started, I was kind of doing my solo thing, and then it led me to find him, and I've been working with him for. It's probably been over 2 years now, and one of the things that I found is a lot of multi-uses for the things, the laser pointers, the knocker, because we'll get lost from each other a lot. We don't have enough glow sticks to light a trail, when we get deep in somewhere. And then even if you do light the glow sticks, sometimes if you're not close enough together, you'll end up not being able to see them again.
Right.
Because, and you shine your light up in the air, and that's one of the things you think, oh, this is easy. So many times we're like, oh, look for me, look at my light, and the canopy is just so dense. It's like you can't even see this 14,000 lumen flashlight in the woods because the canopy is just too thick. Like you can't even see it. And you could be like, 50 yards away or 75 yards away, and you can't even see them. You can't see that bright flashlight. The tree knocker works for that. Yeah,
but like I couldn't even, like I did a loud, you'll hear it when I have my video released. I did a loud whoop, and like at the top of my lungs, and you guys, it didn't. You couldn't hear me. You were like calling me saying, "Do a whoop," and I'm like, I already did one.
I think that's probably
you didn't hear it.
Oh, Jack told me to relay that to you. I'm like, I usually don't tell people to do whoops, but it's usually him.
Right. I know, and that's what I was. But I was like, well, I'm trying to figure this out because I'm thinking I got to be close to you, and it's like I wasn't. But I was actually heading in the right. I had the confidence of like, if I keep going in this direction, I'm gonna find these guys. And so like I didn't like panic and try to turn around or double back. I didn't panic at all. Actually, I just we'll just keep going.
One of the things I wanted to bring up before I forget, I wanted to do the live stream because I wanted to talk about our return to Owen Hill. There's going to be a lot of things well, a few things that I wanted to bring up about it, but one was what a pretty crazy time we had revisiting Owen Hill and the activity, strange things outside, which we suspected, and I think we captured some pretty interesting evidence of that. And you got to take me over to the extended parts of where where they do the hunting,
Yeah.
where the mimic encounter was in that tree stand. And I got to spend some time up in that tree stand, and I was trying to see if I could make any kind of mimic activity that the guy reported, if it could happen. Strangely enough, I'll just say without telling too much of what happened, I did capture a lot of strange like EVPs because I didn't hear them, and like there were a lot of them were whisper like a lot of like whispering kind of voices. I picked up a lot of it, which was kind of interesting, and all of those were picked up towards that leg leading right up to that stand. So I noticed a weird connection between that kind of voice phenomenon and the proximity of when it started happening was nearby where somebody was hearing voices talk to him. So that was weird. Hey, Jackie. But the house, man. Whew.
Well, and I'll give you a little more on that. So I was out there yesterday, and I'm updating the owner on the stuff, and he got the bulldozer fixed. So we were trying to clear some more paths up there. And when we got all the way to the top, he stops the bulldozer and leaves it there, and something pelted it with a rock really hard. And we had about 3 or 4 rocks winged over top, like just through the trees. And this was a daytime. We're in a tractor, so there was no camera rolling on this. We were just trying to clear paths.
Hey, Dan.
And yeah, it pelted that tractor really hard right in one of the metal panels with a rock.
I can imagine.
That's crazy.
And we're going to be back out there next weekend on his day off. We're going to get a path going from the top of the hill down to the backyard of the house. And he told me the general location of where that cemetery is, and it is back. It's too covered for us to get back there right now. But when we clear that path, we're going to look for and find and mark the cemetery too. So the family cemetery. So that can we can get back there. Once I have that, then I'm going to be inviting you guys back there because I'll have clear paths.
Right. That's like an old
cemetery
found. It's like an old family plot, right?
Yes.
One of the early.
Yeah, it has like about I don't know what he said. It's somewhere approximately around 7 graves in it. Okay. But I know it's four of the ones that are in that died inside that house. Right by that little oven where you were showing me orbs coming out of the pipe.
Yeah, and so much. I mean, that's something else that I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some things I want to say about it. But when we did the whole investigation on those extended grounds, like the hunting area, the 2 different areas, I left static cameras inside the house watching 2 areas. One was the kind of like the main living area where the stove is, where the desks where the people died. And then the other room, which was by the desks where we had all that activity on the REM pod.
Yeah.
So I set those there, and man, some of the things I picked up are so strange and so weird that, what I'm going to do, this is going to be different. Just because of the content in it and everything, I'm going to end up probably releasing those to members only. It's going to be about 3 hours for the edited version of it that I put together, and then another almost 3 hours of each camera individually, uncut, unedited. I'm going to put that up just to kind of preserve that evidence.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing all that and all those videos. So it's going to be about, what do we got? We got about like 7, 8, or even more like almost 9 hours of about 8 hours of evidence. It's going to be, it's a little bit different than normal. That's why I'm going to keep it to members only, because I don't know. It just seems a little different than the usual stuff. So, but that will be put for members only once I get it uploaded and I'll let everybody know when I do that, so you can actually see all of that evidence, the edited ones, the ones where I tagged the evidence I found and titled it, and then just both cameras, their full video unedited will be there separately, so you could see it.
Which means if you're not a member, you might want to become one, because it's pretty cool stuff. And make sure you sub, notify to all, and hit that like button.
Yeah, and hey, if you want to join once it's uploaded for 99 cents, it's 99 cents a month. Even if you join for the month to watch it and then don't renew it, hey, that's cool. But it'll be there. I don't know, maybe some point in the future it might go public, but I'm not sure. But I'm definitely going to release it to members, so you can, if you want to spend that, a lot of time and see some interesting things. I'll probably do some shorts with some of the highlights and stuff. But
yeah,
man, wait till you see some of that stuff, though.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward. I see the
What do
question.
we got, Sean? Yeah,
Sean. Okay, because I'm not sure who you're talking about. Whether he's talking about me or you.
Curious if the oranges you
I
set
haven't
out.
haven't put any oranges out. Period. So Jack's the only one who's put out oranges. So I've put out apples. I put corn with molasses, or I put meat out trying to draw predators. I have never put an orange out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And so I've never used an orange in my experiments. So I try to pick stuff. I know oranges come from Florida. I try to use things that are growing around Northeast Ohio.
So ancient forests have a lot of forest folks. Yeah, it seems like a lot of them come up kind of full spectrum. I've picked up some strange ones, like hiding in full spectrums. It seems like they're hiding, or they're there. It's just like they're under the layers, like in between the spectrums. Sometimes they come through, you can see them. Other times it's like a spectrum thing. You just can't really see them, but they're there.
And the thing that I've noticed about doing the hiking, and I used to be in the woods all the time as a kid, and we ended up having lots of stuff happen to us. But
hey, Diane.
The thing that I've noticed is, like, I went out in the woods to start looking for animals and wildlife signs, and for some historic sites. What I ended up finding, and I thought, well, I'll probably get some Bigfoot activity, but I never thought it would be more than that. And unfortunately, we continue to have stuff happen that I don't have a category to put it into. And that's why this is taking me in all kinds of different ways. I have from even where I put the camera up towards the sky and caught a UFO, for lack of better words, a UFO that pauses in there and then takes off like a shot. And so, like, I don't know, man, the stuff I've ended up catching has just blown me away. Not what I expected. And I know, MT, that's the same thing with you. You started out on ghost stuff, and it's taken you all these different ways too.
Yeah, the experiences, that's why, like, I'm a fan of anybody who wants to know about what to get involved with or what you want to do. It's kind of like, go with your interest, and then if something starts showing you something different, explore that option. But because the more you explore, you'll start to see that there's some things out there that are different than you expected.
Yeah, completely not what I expected. So I know Sue had put on there about something about them peeking in and out from behind trees. Sue caught something on one of my videos that I don't know. I don't have this. Another thing, I don't have a category for it, but it's peeking out from about 8 foot up behind this tree. And it's definitely kind of humanoid shape, but it almost looks like a damn zombie. I don't have a category. I don't have a category for it. I'm looking at going, what the heck is that?
That's the category.
And Sue's the one who found that, because
don't know what category.
Sue put that on there, and I looked and I'm like, holy crap, Sue! What in the world is that? It's at least 8 foot tall, though. I mean, it was it wasn't thick either. It was more of a slim, but it looked like a zombie. I don't know how else to say it.
Was it really, really pale?
Yes. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was more of a palish color. And it was right up near the road, right where I had some hecklers start to bother me and I literally had just turned around from that, so I was pretty ticked, and I wasn't even really looking at my camera and when that came across, and it was there really quick, and you could see it move, and like I said, I didn't catch it. Sue found it.
Yeah, there's so many like things that viewers find, and that's what's cool about like the Facebook group and other platforms. But I use Facebook for a Facebook group, and people post videos, clips that they get from the video, changing the coloration, and to find some things that seem to be kind of hiding back in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I always told T-Mac you need protection, especially when I was telling you something like it around at the time.
Yeah, I know. And I do protect. I have protection. So.
Yeah. Well, one thing too I want to bring up while I'm talking about this is that I started using a audio recorder that doubles as a USB mic. It's a Zoom H1. And when that video comes out, I already put a little disclaimer at the beginning of the video. It'll be the next one coming out, the return to Owen Hill. I ran into little hiccups with it. It's very sensitive. I mean, it sounds great. I know it definitely, the audio quality is way better. Even on live streams, I can use it. But it's very sensitive, and something on me or on my tripod with my setup was making some sound and noise, and it was not audible enough that I knew. Like, I just was oblivious to it. But that mic sure picked it up like it was the end of the world. Like, and then when I edited it, I was really mad. I was so mad that I couldn't tell what the heck it was. But you're gonna have to kind of grunt through that one. But from now on, for the rest, I kind of got the configuration set up now, and everything should be good. Shouldn't have that happen anymore.
It takes a little time, especially when you go to a recorder like a Zoom. Those things, you can get them so sensitive where that's why they're so great, because you get like clear EVPs. But yeah, they do pick up a lot.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. It literally, like, I couldn't hear it, but when you hear parts of it, it sounds like somebody's tapping on my microphone. That's how like sensitive it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, T-Mac. I think you have a Facebook group, don't you, T-Mac?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably
I do
can
have
find
a
it on your
Facebook
channel
group.
link, right? Is it on your channel link too?
I'm not sure if I have linked it on the YouTube page yet. I'm not sure if I did. Okay. Probably, it means I probably didn't.
Yeah, you could do that, but what's it under? Is it under just T-Max?
It's under T-Max, the same name, T-Max American Experience.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. It'll be easy to find on Facebook group.
And so it's like I started doing that, and I got that to where people can post what they see on there now. And because most of the people that are on it are already they're already subscribers and like connected with with you and cameraman mostly. So there's only a few people on there that aren't connected with the rest of the crew.
Oh, a little spoiler, man. I don't know if anybody knows. They probably don't. I don't think we told anybody, but we've got some things in the work, and T-Mac is coming along with the next one coming up. Yes. We are going to Beale Manor. Beale Manor, which is
very cool.
Is actually a really famous haunted place. I think Ghost Adventures have been there, Twin Paranormal. I think just about almost most of the mainstream have been there because of the evidence and things that seem to come out of that place. And it's not too far. It's like an hour and 45 minutes from me. It's in Ohio here.
It's for me, I got probably a 3-hour drive.
Okay.
So it's a little rough on me.
Yeah. But I'm excited about that. And I think right now there's a few of us going, but we're still in the process of working it out. But that's going to be great. And then there is one other. It is the Historic Prospect Place Estate. It's it's another kind of like manor. Has a lot of history behind it. With I'm trying to remember the name of the man. But it's very interesting. It was involved in the Underground Railroad.
Cool.
It's another place that we're going to be going to. So we've got some places that we're going to start branching out and seeing if, some of these places that have had these paranormal activity recorded by a lot of different teams.
All
We're going to
right.
go see if the same thing happens or see what else happens there.
And then I want to mention this here because of potential. We haven't set any dates or anything on it, but Spooky Matt brought up to me too about doing a return video at the Ashtabula train disaster.
Yeah.
To which what I would like to do with that one is have you guys get there in the daytime and we go over to the cemetery first. And go explore around there. You can't be in there at nighttime without getting the police called on you, but we can be in the woods without, with no time limit. But I want to know, because if you guys are going to come up for that, I go out in the woods and clear and make sure that there's no homeless there. And anybody who watches my videos know I've had quite a few run-ins with homeless. They run from me now. I have a reputation amongst their community when they see me to get the heck out of the way. So
that's an interesting place, man. That disaster was actually like when I titled my video for my experience there, the Ashtabula Horror, but that was the media's name that they gave to the incident. And if you read the circumstances behind that train wreck and how actually terrifying it was for the people who died on it, it's actually pretty sad. And I had a very interesting experience there with what seemed to be spirit interaction and communication that seemed to be related to
the graveyard where they buried all the people who they couldn't identify.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is not far from that site is the design engineer and the
Charles Collins.
The telegraph person, the guy who was sending out the messages, who was considered a hero during this time, who getting the messages out to get help into there. He's buried right by all the Tomb of the Unknown. It's like there's a whole bunch of the key figures are all buried right in the same spot, just a bit further down the river.
Thanks, Ramona. And now say thanks to Cindy. That's is that Runny Bear? Or is there a typo? Is it Run Bear? Cindy Rooney Bear. Gonna make me a large leather bag for tobacco. Wow, thank you.
Or maybe it's Teddy Bear.
Cindy Teddy Bear.
All right.
Well, thank you. That's nice. I kind of use like baggies and stuff like that, which probably won't look good if I ever get searched for some reason. Just saying. If I got a bag of tobacco on me, it's gonna look a little suspicious, but I'm gonna have to explain, hey, it's for offering for Mother Nature. And I'm sure they'll believe me.
Well, if they want to run a test on a bag of tobacco, it'll be egg on their face.
It's easy, Yeah. But I still have all the tobacco because I quit smoking like back in February, but I still keep it with me for offering, like I always do. Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah, thank you, Kurt. Yeah.
Said hello. All right. What do you got here, Sean? Watched you guys since the early days. Being a very black and white kind of guy to being way more open-minded, embracing those gray areas more. There you go. Well, that's probably the experiences, right? That's like what I was saying.
Some of that was, I was pretty sure, again, we said that I was pretty sure that there was a Bigfoot in the woods. There's all the other stories of I was on the fence on Dogman, but I'm like, okay, that could fit in there. But, a lot of the other things, I thought, it's like if out in the woods, you're not going to get what you'd say a spiritual activity. I thought, okay, that's more of like when you go to old houses or
Yeah,
something
right.
like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
When I started catching them on my videos in all kinds of different places, I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I wasn't looking for this, and yet it's here. Yeah. So, yeah, and then I guess trying to figure out what's doing it, how it's doing it, how it's evading our cameras, including the thermal cameras. Sometimes it doesn't. We catch it, but we never are able to catch like the golden goose film. We've gotten some great evidence, and Jack and MT, we've caught some scary, creepy looking photos of things that we can't explain, but nobody's caught in the golden goose like the Patterson Gimlin film. So, and that's what you'd like to ideally, because I want to have it proved. I want to have it proved, and I would like to be able to do it without. I'm not interested in killing one. And for me personally, unless it wants to be aggressive and merit that. So,
Yeah. One thing I've kind of adapted with that is it's became pretty apparent to me early on that what you're going to get is what they're going to give you, and what they give you is, it feels like to me, is based upon you. And when I say you, I always talk about that aura, your frequencies, your body. It's like you're recognized in a way you don't understand, and that is part of the connection, and that usually adds to, I believe, what causes the connection and what you will get, what kind of interaction you'll get. And now to me, it's more about trying to just connect with that and interact is what it is for me. And what I'm noticing is what happens is seems to be consistent with things that, are very, kind of keep getting a little deeper and deeper into, like, maybe I'm getting let in a little bit more and a little bit more in a way that I don't understand yet. And it seems like that seems to slowly keep happening. So that's like my focus now, is that, and then documenting it and showing it. And if there's something that won't ever be seen because there's some kind of, like Jack says, rules or laws about what will actually happen, then, that's fine. I guess, it just won't happen. But it seems like the things that are happening are very interesting, and that's kind of what I like to show. And
I think a lot of people, they don't understand when they go out, when they say, I got like rocks thrown at me, I got a lot of stuff thrown at me. They'll throw rocks in front of you, behind you, to direct you out of a way, or go some way, or whatever. If you're getting aggressive stuff, you're causing that. You are doing something to upset them. And I think that's a part a lot of people don't understand. If you go in with a peaceful mind of you're going to observe and try to get evidence, or just talk to them, or be there with them, you won't get that. So yeah, I don't think you have to worry about shooting one, because if you had to, you probably wouldn't get the shot off.
Yeah, that's how I always look at it too.
I kind of looking at that too. But I've had a couple of close, there's been times where I had to draw the gun. But the other thing is, no, you're right. When they hit, they hit the rocks around me. They're not trying to hit me, or they wing them over top of my head. And that's why I was like, well, that's why I'm not shooting back, is because they're not trying to take my head off. So I'm like, I recognize it for what it is. And it's like, I recognize more of it as like, dude, they're toying. They like this, they're not looking at me as a threat so much as the entertainment.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we are their entertainment.
They definitely don't look at me as food, which is good. Okay. And they don't really look at me as a kind of a threat, but something, entertainment, something they can amuse themselves with. There's a couple times when they start.
Would that make you laugh? If somebody made you made somebody jump out of their shoes, you'd be juggling your ass off too. I mean, we're kind of.
I watch videos like that on Facebook all day long.
Hey, I'm going to leave you guys solo for a minute. I'm just going to mute myself, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and that's where I was like, if they wanted to, if it's very clear that if they wanted to, and with some of the rocks, how they've come in with some real velocity to get my attention, but they weren't aimed at. I can tell they weren't aimed at me. And it's like, if they'd have wanted to hit me, they'd have hit me. There's a couple that have bounced and like hit like my boot and stuff. But as far as that, like, they're not, so it's like, there's a couple times I've had to draw my gun out because it's definitely startling. But, you know, it's like I get the reaction when I draw my gun out. They back off away from me. I've gotten hissed at when I've drawn the gun and I hear things scatter. You know, it's like, okay, so they recognize, they know what the gun is. And it's the thing is, I know when people start trying to tell me that these things are spiritual beings, you can't kill them. Like bull crap. They run away from my gun. I don't believe it. And there's a lot of things I've opened my mind to, but one of the things I'm not is that these things are immune to gunfires. I think smaller calibers don't have. It's just like if you shoot a bear with a 38, you're just going to get mauled. Okay, it's not going to. Yeah, at the end of the day, like you shoot a grizzly bear with a 38, or a 22. You're just going to take it off, and it's just going to maul you because it can absorb that bullet, and it's, you know, thick hide and whatever. You know, it's like, it's not. So yeah, you have to have the right caliber. But these things have reacted.
Well, I think they react because they know what it is, and they don't want to deal with it.
Well, they know what it is, and they know it's a danger. You wouldn't, if it was not a danger to them, they wouldn't react. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. Is
yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but there has actually been other reports where when a rifle has been drawn on them and fired, they went after the people.
Oh yeah,
pelted with rocks. So again, it's like you got to look at it. If your pistol, they know what it is. They don't want to deal with it, and they don't want that kind of attention. I think that's why they probably back off and kind of go on. This dumb human is being scared and angry, and I don't want to deal with him at this point. You know, I have pulled my gun because I always carry. And when found out it wasn't what I thought it was, I just put it away because it's like, it's no need. I mean, I don't need it for them. I'm worried about the cougar. I'm worried about the wolf.
Right.
Or the worst thing out there are people.
Yes.
Oh, amen to that. I always say the most dangerous thing you will run out to in the woods is other people. I still stand by that.
Yeah. And most people, like, I know already from the places I've gone over this time, and a lot of places are part of public parks and things like that. And anybody who knows how they can be sometimes with unwanted people that try to, you know, live or stay around in those public park areas that are not in the right mind. And, you know, I know because park ranger stories and things, and you know, you're not so much worried about being scared by something that you don't understand. It's about somebody who's not in the right state of mind that's out there that could possibly harm you.
Yep.
You know, that's usually the only time I ever have weapons for anything. It's for that kind of protection.
And some of the places we've went now, you can back this up. A lot of the places we went were places where there were murders, there were suicides, there were bodies found. And I'm literally like, some of the places we've went where I went both solo and with other people are creepy and isolated. And I'm literally preparing myself for, dude, one of these days I'm going to end up coming across the body. There's, you know, I'm like mentally preparing myself for that, because I do believe that's going to, almost every piece of the woods that I have explored solo is a place where somebody has committed suicide back there or been found dead back there. Every single spot, you name it, then I can find the story of where they found bodies back there.
Yeah, public parks especially. Like with Ghost Ranger, you know, I knew her for a while, and she was, you know, a park ranger, and I heard a whole lot of stories about the I don't know, you could say the correlation if there's something about a public park, but it's a common place where people will go to, you know, to do that. And it happens a lot. And I've heard a lot of it. And then I heard a lot. And now I'm, you know, I take that for what it's worth. And whenever we go around and we're in parks, if I have a weapon on me, it's to protect me from, the
Mhm.
unknown people variables is why.
Yeah, I agree. You always have to have that protection against, because you don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. And the mace, like I keep the bear mace with me. That's pretty
Mhm.
much, that's the main one right there. That's multi-use.
Oh, for sure. That'll deter a lot of stuff.
I mean, always, anything non-lethal, depending on what you're dealing with, is always the way to go for unless it's, of course,
Especially
you
like,
probably
he was
gauge.
talking is like, if he goes around, a lot of people, homeless people, all that kind of stuff. And like he said, he's pulled his gun a couple times. That's
Pulled
something
my
you got
gun
to
on
think about.
homeless people. Yeah, I've got
It's like,
surrounded by homeless people
you
before.
don't know who's behind that tree or who's behind that bush, so that's another thing a lot of people don't. As an ex-cop, I can tell you, it's like when you go in those
There you go.
situations, you got to be careful because a lot of times it's not as bad as you think. Prepare yourself, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
you got to be responsible too if you're carrying a firearm
Absolutely.
or
Oh yeah.
pepper
You
spray.
don't-
Because
and
something like
that's the
that,
thing,
dude.
if you can't see it, then you don't just randomly wing shots into the woods. Right? That's a good way to get yourself
Yeah, don't
landed in
shoot where
prison.
the rock came from, T-Mac.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Right, well, and that's what I'm saying. Is I never. There's times where I've had to pull it out, but I was waiting for a target to appear, because I'm not going to shoot what I can't see. And I think that's what a lot of hunters in their encounters with Bigfoots haven't shot at them, is in part because they looked at it and they could not identify what it was. Is that a person? Is it not a person? And they couldn't tell. And that was a lot of the times where the hesitation to shoot comes in, is what am I shooting?
Yeah.
But not only that, a lot of people that actually had or say they had it in their scope said they couldn't because it looked too human.
It looked too human, right?
Mhm.
And that's the concern. Are they going to DNA test this and it comes back part human? Guess what? You go to prison. So even if it's half human, that's still murder.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
pretty
like,
sure
you throw that on, unless
hunting limitations will keep you from being justified if you were to shoot something like that. And then
Or in Washington, if you shoot one, you're going to jail.
Yeah, and there's some
protected.
towns in New York too that, if you shoot a Bigfoot or whatever, well, my thing with that is, in self-defense you're allowed to, but I mean only in self-defense. That's what I say, is you have to weigh that out. Are you in danger? Are you really in danger? So,
and if you are, you put yourself there.
Well,
because they're not going to hunt you down. They're not purposely going to come at you. You know?
And to an extent, but it's like, it's whether they get aggressive, or how aggressive towards you. It's like they're winging rocks, and I know for me, and I think they're getting they get tired of throwing rocks at me, because they try to do it for directional change, and I don't change my direction because of that. So I set my point, and I'm like, I'm going back to my point and my hike. I don't care. They're going to have to block my path to stop me. And they said, if you block my path, that's an act of aggression, and you're probably going to get shot. So, especially if you're blocking my exit. So that's the one area where I will not hesitate to shoot someone blocking my exit.
That's an interesting way to think about it, for sure.
But as
if
long as
you know if they're saying don't go down there, and you say screw it, I'm going down there, and then you say if they make me stop, then they're the aggressor. It's kind of it's an interesting way to look. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, but it's kind of an interesting way to look at it.
Well, and I'd say that because I'm always on a trail. I'm not as much like Jack to be off the trail. I like to be on trails. I will only go off. Most of the time I go off trails because I'm with Jack. But most of the time I will stick to the trail, which in my mind, these things are out there for us to hike on. And I got a right to go to and from down that trail. I don't stop animals from walking through the woods. So, regardless of whose property is. So it's like I said, it's not really an interesting way to look at it. It's like I got a right to enter and exit safely. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's like, well, if you're gonna stop me,
keep the non-lethal methods with you.
There you go.
That's how I stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we talk about the bear spray, as you guys know, I've also, besides the Air Force, I worked in a prison for 22 years. And we had at the prison, we had the pepper spray was 5.3 million skull. And the bear spray is double the strength of that. And I can tell you what 5.3 million felt like when I got nailed square in the eyes with it. And when I was had to spray it at inmates outdoor and come back and shut my eye, hit me in the eye.
Yeah, wind
I know what
sucks when
that
you use
felt
those.
like. So, but I will tell you, if you spray bear spray and you get a breeze blown right back at you, you're done. You're done. You're totally incapacitated, and you're going to be in a bad way for a long time. And if you're having to spray because you're threatened, you're in trouble. You're incapacitated. You're in real trouble.
Well, what else you guys want to talk about?
So, well,
Everything seems to have been pretty good so far. I haven't had any encounters yet that I felt really threatened in. I mean, I've felt some strange scaredness, but been fortunate so far. Animals, especially. I'm glad I haven't come across any bear or anything.
Right.
That would be.
I've come across some bear.
One of those terrifying. That'd be probably one of the more terrifying kind of encounters to have.
I've come across some bear, and I've had some direct contacts with coyotes too, and some bobcats, and where they've definitely made threatening gestures toward me, but they didn't charge at me, so I didn't shoot them. I mean, again, same thing. You can make your, the coyotes try to circle around. I'll pull the gun out, and if they want to come towards me, usually I pull the gun out. It seems like the coyotes know what it is. They're like, get away from there. All of a sudden, they're done with me. So, but that's another thing we had at Owen Hill that other night. Jack does one of his whoops, and some very large sounding and very close sounding coyotes all just started going nuts when Jack whooped.
Crazy Uncle Big Sky Jim.
Crazy Uncle Big.
Oh yeah, my dad's.
They must be from Montana.
Deputy here in Montana. I had him dare me to stand and face it. Oh hell no. Well, I tell you what, if something was there long enough that you had the choice to stand and face it, that's pretty it's pretty intimidating to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd want to stand and face it off either.
I'd like to, like I said, I would put the camera on it if
you happen to have it going, yeah.
So I'm going to try to get it on camera because I mean, that's one of my goals. And somebody has asked me, how come I haven't reported any of my sightings to the BFRO? And I went, well, I don't need someone else to come out here and research. That's what I'm doing. So I don't need to report it to anyone else because I guess I'm the researcher. So
Uyana, hello.
It's kind of like why I say, don't run. A couple of the reasons don't run. We're going out looking for this stuff. So if you find it, what the heck are you getting scared and running away for? You're running away from what you're looking for, and I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, I guess there is the possibility you might find something you weren't expecting, and you might have to retreat.
That's the whole thing, though, is a lot of people go out there with this, but not believing that any of this stuff is real. And when they have a real encounter, they geek out. Because it's like, but you went out looking for that. If you find what you're looking for, don't geek out, video it, stand your ground. I mean, I don't know. It seems counterproductive to me to run. It's like I may back away from situations if I feel like there's trouble or whatever, but to run, there's no. But
it's like going ghost hunting and seeing a ghost and running out the door.
Exactly. And you know what?
Hello, other guy.
Sadly have seen people do that on ghost hunts. And it's like, I know what you guys do and like Spooky Matt and everything. And, it's like you guys are going in there looking for it. So when you have the activity and then you geek out and run out of the house, it's like, okay. I mean, So, I mean, it's something I couldn't picture. I cannot picture what it would take to get MT to run either. But and like I said, there's times where we'll back away. Okay, let's back away from this, give it some space or whatever. But this is what we're out here looking for. So it's kind of like there's people who went out there and to look for stuff, for Bigfoot stuff. They got screamed at, and then they called the police. And I'm like, I was like, that just did. Why, dude? This is what you wanted to find. So it's like, I don't know. And that's more of people. I think the people who run or call the police like that when they find what they're looking for didn't really believe they didn't really believe it in the first place. So, my opinion.
It's like a weird trust exercise, man. That's the way I always put about it. Like the whole process of doing it is like you're just putting yourself out there, and I guess it's a good mindset too. That nothing's going to happen to you. You know your intent. And then if something does like start giving you that little like startle, like you're like, oh, you can start getting that little, shit moment where you realize something happened. Or like when that voice hit me at Hillview Manor and I heard that voice speak, I had that like freeze up moment where I was in shock because I just heard a voice come from the corner where nobody was there, and you just kind of like accept it and, have a feeling of understanding that you trust that you're not going to get hurt and
right.
You're not going to be, that something bad is not going to happen to you.
And that comes along with also, number one, getting trained right by people you trust. Number two, going out and figuring out what makes what noises, and realizing that, going out in the woods where there are, besides animals and Bigfoot, there's a lot of different stuff out there. And learning what animals sound like when they're actually pacing around you. When, you have cougars walking up behind you, what does that sound like from a pad to a deer foot? If you get through all of that, a lot of the scare factor goes away, but you still get the freeze moments when you have that word like pop in your ear. And you're like, what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just natural,
And there is another thing that I do is I will get a gut feeling. Don't go in there tonight. Okay. And when I get that feeling, I always listen to it. I'm like, I have this gut. I want to do a hike tonight. I want to do it here. And I'm getting this gut feeling of don't go in there. So I'm like, okay, I'll shift it over to another area or whatever on the fly and be like, let's just go over here tonight. I've never regretted listening to that voice there because I don't know what would have happened, but there's something in me that strong saying, because it's like there's not much that rattles me, but when I have that strong feeling of this is not the night to go in there, then I usually will listen to that.
It's always good to listen to your gut for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing. Like there's times where I feel like I want to go film or I want to go interact and do something, but then there's a lot of times where I have that feeling, but then I just feel like a place has to be right. Like I have to like have this foresight, like agreement within myself. Like, okay, this is where I should go. I know I want to go there. And if I can't like clearly see or feel like this is a place that I want to go, then I just don't. So it's almost like the same thing. Like if you like, I could go somewhere, somebody could say, hey, you want to go here, but then I don't really feel like, that something doesn't click where I feel like I should go and I just won't go. And it's more personal thing with me, not so much like I just need to keep filming as much as possible. So just go everywhere. It's like, there's a little more to it when I decide to go somewhere or not go somewhere.
Right. A lot of that's different when I have a group of people and I'm going out with like you and Jack or whatever it is. There's always a different feeling when there's a group of us as opposed to going solo.
Yeah. It seems like interactions are definitely different.
Yep.
There's something to it.
So the thing that I'm hoping that we are able to do here is I know guys, these things act different between guys and girls. And when there's guys around, they're more antagonistic. And when it's a group of women without a guy there, they're more likely to get an actual sighting. And it's like, that's one of the things. It's like, man, I'm looking for that, to where we have a couple of girls to where you can send them out away from us, out away from us guys. You know, videoing, obviously radios to contact so that we can get there to help them if they get something happens. But get a couple of women that will want
Like,
back.
go start something for us, will you?
Yeah, well, just to see
Get out there and
if
start
they can
something.
catch,
And we'll
if
come
they
in
can
and film
catch
it.
the full body. You know, they can catch, you know, they can catch the golden goose video, because it'll appear to them. It's more
And
likely to.
And that goes back right what we were talking about before, is your intentions when you go out to look for stuff like this. It's how you go out, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself in the woods, you know, how you act. Why women tend to see more than guys, because they're more open and loving and caring, and than guys are in the woods usually.
Go to the frequency thing.
Definitely.
So yeah, okay. So she put Bigfoot loves
Bigfoot's
women.
love women.
So don't I. So don't I.
So don't I.
I do too.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I
put that
I
out
think
there.
I know what you mean. What you're trying to say. Well, I guess I got everything out there that I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
The House on Owen Hill return coming up. Look for the bonus film from the static cameras for members. So I will let everybody know when those are up. I just started that process because I just went through and seen what I had. And anybody who's a member, if you haven't joined it, you know, membership starts. I have it at 99 cents for the monthly membership. You can always join and watch those, and you know, you don't have to subscribe every month, but if you do, appreciate it. But that will happen. I will upload all of that. It'll be like about 8 total hours of 2 different cameras and all the craziness in its entirety. Mm-hmm. And then look for the video coming up next week for when I did a walkthrough. So you will see some weird, strange interactions in the house briefly that I had, and then all the weird stuff that happened around the perimeter and throughout the whole hunting area. So
I do got to say one last thing about the Owen Hill stuff. The house, I've went into there solo at night, and I've done the woods solo at night. And I will tell you this, for all 3 spots on that, I went there solo at night, and I won't ever do it again. That's the way the place is for me. I will not head back into those woods by myself yet. I don't know, maybe I can work myself up into it, but around the house, I will not go over there alone at night. Anyway, I still go over there in the daytime. But those woods, the ones I took you guys into, that's the one where they swiped my when they swiped my glow sticks. That was my pathway out of there, and I got lost. I had to GPS my way out. It's like I'll go back there if I got help, but I won't go back there alone after that one. That was the cue of, you know, we will really screw with you on that place.
It's very, very, it's becoming very interesting. It's almost starting to remind me of like Claim 3.
Yes.
And like some of the stories, like the Tennessee witch. I think I got the name right. Was it the but it was like some of the strange happenings of all around the property and in the home.
Yeah.
It's starting to have it's starting to have this vibe, like something with the whole land and the property. Strange things that we've been documenting, and you'll see it coming up in the video too, with strange vocals coming from the woods and all kinds of unexplained knocks and strange things like that, and weird EVPs. So there's something to that area, and the house seems to be absorbing it with strangeness. So I think we're going to have to keep going on and seeing what else happens even after this.
Well, and that's what I'm make sure to say we can definitely go there pretty much any night we want.
Thanks, Jim.
And
Cool.
Especially if you guys are bulldozing down through the forest and stuff like that. I mean, that's changing a lot of stuff there, which usually riles up spirits pretty good.
well,
It's like
and,
remodeling a house.
yeah, because let's say they have the deer feeders up
Thanks,
there,
Ramona.
and they literally run a bulldozer up to where they have the deer feed because it grows over so
Bellwitch.
thick.
There you go. That's the gym. Yep. Tennessee Bellwitch.
Yeah, and I said that place, it definitely needs more investigation on it, but it's more of like, I don't know how much I want to get into that solo. I really am like, it's usually you're usually like there's something usually letting you know it's watching you right when you walk onto the property. That's how it's happened with me here. Daytime and nighttime, something usually very quickly lets you know you're not alone.
Yep. And that house is lively, man. Wait till you hear the stuff on the cameras. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I can only imagine if that's how it was and you weren't recording and you just happened to be walking by and you're outside and you're like, who the heck's tearing this house apart?
Right.
Then you go in and nobody's there. You're kind of like, wait, there's got to be somebody here. Just somebody was just in here destroying stuff from the way it sounded.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was going to be pretty impressed with some of that activity.
The only difference between that and Claim 3 is nobody currently lives on the Owen Hill property, which is why I think there's less reported activity, is because there's not somebody there on the daily. Claim 3 has someone there on the daily who's literally like, 3, holy crap, get someone out here.
The Jelly Man got seen. The Jelly Man was seen. So that had a little different level for me with Claim 3. When you have video evidence of some kind of an entity that's there and seems to be kind of transparent in its nature and hidden, that kind of spikes you a little bit to be a little bit more on edge, knowing that was documented, that it's there. Whether or not it's always there, that's stuff we don't know, but being that you've seen it once kind of adds a little extra level of like, being aware of what's around you. But, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you joining me.
Thanks for having me, dude.
No problem.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And cameraman couldn't make it tonight. He did send me a message a little bit ago. So he said hello to everybody in chat. So, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
Look for the videos. Did you get your video up, T-Mac? Did you put together a video from Claim 2?
I have not put that one. I'm not to that one yet. I got another
that one.
I got one coming out tomorrow. That's another one in Crawford County, Pennsylvania. And then I'll start on. We got multiple ones on the Owen Hill. Then after that, I got one with where I had Marianne and Spooky Matt with me. It was a night that we thought you were going to make it there, but you couldn't make it.
I'll send that to you, Hiana. I'll send you the video link, or I'll send you the name of it. It's like Confronting Bigfoot at Claim 3. It's one of the cameraman's live.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find it under that title if you look through his live streams. But it's in there.
What's funny is when the Jelly Man came out, I was just one of the subscribers watching at that point. I remember watching that going, what in the world is that?
Wiana, see ya? Yeah, I know. I had been there a couple times before that. I actually missed that live stream with him, and I watched it live myself. And I was kind of like actually disappointed that I wasn't there that night.
I know.
And then, that's a place I try to go whenever I get the opportunity to go with him, because curious to see, what happens there. Because when you see weird evidence like that, you kind of, for me, I kind of want to explore and see if, repeating things to see if these things happen again is kind of what I go for a lot. Looking for repeating things that happen to show that, it's not just some kind of one-time encounter. It's something that is seen again. But, all right, Gonzalo, good night. And I guess good night, everyone. Again, thank you guys. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Alrighty.
Have a good night.